Since the Kotruk incident of 1st September, where bombs were allegedly thrown by drones, the Kuki people or the other organizations, including the Kuki INPI or the ITLF, KOTU, all of them have been denying their involvement completely in this attack. In fact, when we came here to Kanpopi, where I'm standing right now, they told us a completely different story. Their volunteers tell us that this attack, in fact, was not at all unprovoked, as is being claimed by the police, and they do not have the bandwidth, the wherewithal, or the equipments to basically fly drones and drop bombs. In fact, they tell us that whatever bombs that they have, which they are not denying, they say that they do have bombs, but they are all crude bombs and not factory made, as is being claimed by the police. In fact, they gave a complete narration of what had happened on that day, on 1st of September, saying that this attack was not unprovoked. It is the Meiteis and the valley-based insurgent groups, including the Arambai Tengol, who were planning an ambush on the passengers crossing over from a stretch, a road that connects Churachandpur to Kangpokpi. And when they got these intelligence inputs, they sent their volunteers to that place to basically do to sanitize the area, do a recce, and to find out what was really happening. So the Kotruk incident happened. We all know the side of the story, what we have been told by the police. They have claimed, we have also reported about it, that on the 1st of September, around 30 to 40 bombs were basically thrown in that area of Kotruk by drones. Now they are saying that these bombs are crude bombs, as well as some of them are sophisticated bombs, right? But the Kuki INPI, in fact, if I can say, in the KOTU, has basically said that denied having used any drones. Now, if you could tell us what really happened on the 1st of September, although the police is saying that this attack was completely unprovoked, but you have another side of the story.
See, first I'll get to that, the police. You're talking about a police which is of Manipur. So you know that it's going to be biased. And I'll come to the point. And as you know that on the 1st of September, news were there from the intelligence that some valley-based insurgent groups, along with the Arambai Tengol, were camped at Nakhozang. Nakhozang is a Kuki village. And the village was razed down in the previous incident. Now, why I'm talking about this issue is that Nakhozang, the area is a connectivity between Kangpopi, people of Kangpopi, and Churachandpur. That is the only lifeline. So
there's a road.
There's a road, yeah. So coming to that point, now a report is that these people are camped there, and imminent ambush would be shot on the Kuki community that's going to travel on that road. Now, since we came to know, and we even know that the state did not take any proactive action, so we had to send a village volunteer to sensitize the area.
This was on 1st September.
It was on the 1st September. Now, when I say who has the authority, why? You might say that because when we don't have the governance, our village volunteers is our only force. That's why they were asked to sanitize the road. So when they went there, in that Kuki village area, Vibiks were there, Arambais were there. And now when this valley-based insurgents saw this village volunteer had come there, they started firing upon, in which the Kukis had to retaliate. So they had to chase down till Kotruk.
Although the organization heads of these civil society groups of Kukis have completely denied having any sort of drones that are capable of throwing bombs, they accepted the fact that they do have these missiles, including the one that was thrown in Moirang. That is a projectile, they say, an advanced version of pumpy guns, which they often used initially. And these are the guns that did have a range of about a kilometer or 2 kilometers initially. But since the Arambai Tengol and the VBIGs were so well equipped, they thought that they also need to upgrade their technology and started making these advanced pumpies. Now, when you talk about this missile, which was thrown in Moirang, in which one 78-year-old priest was killed. In fact, we were there on the ground reporting from Moirang on the incident. They accept the fact that they are equipped with these missiles, but again, they are very quick to add that they do not use these launchers, rocket launchers, missiles, whatever you want to call it, the projectiles, unless provoked. So, in fact, in one of the instances, they say that the Moirang incident happened because a similar kind of projectile was thrown at a village at a Kuki village near a camp. And once they found out that these guys, the Metis, have started throwing these projectiles, they thought it's now time for them to retaliate.
Now you talked about a multiple bombs there.
Yes.
I'll tell you, we have pumpis, ma'am, I'll tell you. We have pumpis, and pumpis can be only fired once. Even if we have to fire it, it cannot be multiple times. It has to be one at a time. And pumpi is not a small or what you call a handy carry pumpi. So in order to have that multiple shots, you need to have a multiple pumpis.
Right.
I don't think we can, the Kuki have the means to do that. Okay. We do have pumpis, but not that many as in that particular spot.
Yeah, so basically to drop 30, 40.
That's what I'm saying. Now, see, I'm not going to blame the other. Let them say whatever they want. But our issue is that we had to resort, we had to retaliate. So when they use their bombs, we can use our pumpi one at a time.
Right.
Now, how is it possible to have a multiple bombs in that particular area unless it's by them? Because they have the sources, they have the logistical support from the state. And when you look at the in the picture, the bombs, the crude bombs, I know when you say it's a crude bomb, we definitely have our own local made, indigenous one. And after that incident, suddenly the news came that we use a drone only for a surveillance in order to sensitize that route that is leading to Churchandpur and Kangpopi. And of that, we have only 3-4 those small drones.
Right.
So for us to procure, such a high-tech drone, I think it's unbecoming because instead of that, we need to have to look at our people who are languishing in the camps. A food, a basic necessity. That's more important than dropping all those bombs. So,
the Kuki group further alleged that drones used to drop bombs in the area belong to the Arambai Tengol and valley-based insurgent groups, which they accidentally dropped in their own area, and the Kukis do not have such sophisticated technology. They only use small drones meant for videography to do surveillance, they said.
As far as the drone which has been reported by the police, I know it's going to be biased, and we don't have that facilities. I wish we had. Their man, the Arambai Tengol, have clarified on their own. We don't need to say that. But from our side, we don't use a drone. A drone to bomb. No, we have the capacity to do that. But we do have pumpi. We do have pumpi. Which is a locally indigenous made pumpis. Yeah.
Right. But do you think, like I was talking to him and he said it's laughable when the police says that, there is a bomb that was covered with, says, Kuki land?
See, ma'am, you can have a bomb and write Kanglei Park as well. So that should not be an issue because everyone can resort to that thing. No? But to say that, imagine for me to do something which would really implicate me, do you think I'll be doing that? To write my name like Kuki land, so that means this is done by the Kukis. See, I don't think we are foolhardily, we are not that stupid. But at the same time, I'll tell you, we don't have the resource on that technology. But what we can is, we have our indigenously made arsenal and will be resorted to use that.
See, This drones, we use it for surveillance. And initial period, we don't have any drones, except those videographers who are, in the line of videographers, YouTubers or something like that. Apart from them, we don't have any drones
We
in
don't
the
need
initial.
the necessity.
Yes, we
We
don't
don't have
need
the
to.
necessity for
Yes,
that.
and right after, always surveilling our areas through their state sponsoring drones, which is meant for pesticides, and even they are having these private drones. So right after that moment, we came to know that, or we realized that drone is needed for surveilling our areas to sanitize it. Yes.
Besides drone throwing bombs, another significant challenge in Manipur today is the use of rocket bombs or unguided missiles, which, although crude, are potent. They weigh around 24 kgs and have a range of 8 to 10 kilometers. This explosive is a significant advancement over the previously used pumpy guns made of steel pipes with a rope attached to it, which lacked range. One such missile had landed in the valley town of Moirang in Manipur's Bishnupur on 6 September, killing a 70-year-old man. A similar rocket had also landed in a paddy field in the area on 24th August but did not blast. Sources in the security establishment said that in the past 2 weeks, 5 such missiles have been recovered from different areas. When asked about the use of these rockets, Kotu said that they never deny having been made them, but they were not the first ones to use them. They alleged that a more advanced rocket was thrown at a Kuki village next to a camp in Shongtun Kangpokpi on 2nd September, which compelled them to use those. Coming to the Moirang incident, now this is also something that is new for Manipur because such a big, people are calling it missiles, some people are calling it rockets. So that sort of a projectile, which is about 9 feet, it weighs about 24 to 30 kgs, that was lobbed. 4 or 5 of them, in fact, have been recovered by security forces. So, what are those weapons? Are these weapons also, I mean, are these also made by the cookies? Is it like a step up from what the pumpy guns were? Is it an upgraded version of the pumpy guns that is being locally made by the people in the hills?
First of all, on the day of this 1st September, right after getting the information that we have been, our boys were chasing down those Rambai singles and the V-Big steel coat truck and this burn down some houses. On that particular day, I think you may come across in the video that the Arambais and the V-Bigs were making like what do we call this? Projectiles with along with the tires, which is used with
Buffer zone.
no, no, not
Buffer gun.
yeah, buffer guns, which were used with Pakistan and India, the war between the countries and countries. Number one point, I just want to clarify that, and number 2 point. September 2nd or 3rd, I already forget the exact date. On that particular day, they were firing these buffered guns, and then it was targeting these relief camps in this Kesonglung.
Okay.
So it was nearly hitting that place. So when we dug out that thing, it is a projectile. What do we call a missiles or what do we call? I don't know. But for them, it's an advanced technology. So I'll come to that Moirang things, Moirang issue. See, these Arambai Tangles, if they can carry that buffer guns, I mean like a mag that buffer guns 1, 2, 3, then possibility is there. They also fire towards the Churchanpur areas. And secondly, so we also upgraded these pumpis. So we upgraded these pumpis, and we also have a similar kind of that bullet, very long one. So, like I said before, we have 3 types of pumpis: the normal one, and the second one, this like giving 2 sounds, and the third one it can fly till 15 kilometers. So we also retaliate after they fire that buffer guns to us.
The Cookie group said that the only way to end this strife is the government conceding to the demand of cookies for a separate administration. They complained that CM Biren Singh should have acted like a CM to the whole state and not for a particular community.
I think the voice of the minority or the other communities should be heard. Not pick and choose or not those prescriptive policy towards a majority community. That's why the government, sorry, the government, BJP lost 2 seats. That's a proof. And I think it's uh, a high time to instill stability in the region when you know that India is trying to be a superpower. This small state such as Manipur can be solved in a minute.
In fact, that was my last question to you. That when we talk about the solution, everybody keeps saying that a dialogue is what is essential. There has to be a neutral person that has to come and basically bridge that gap that has been created over the last 1.5 years. How many such meetings have really taken place, or has there been any sort of an effort that has been done by the central government or anything that you got from these interlocutors who have been appointed to basically at least start some sort of talk or for peace?
To my knowledge, ma'am, no.
No.
But there's in the news that a committee has been constituted, but
Right.
I don't think it's going to work unless the central government intervenes. See, it's like an analogy which I had given you. When two boys in a classroom, the bigger one beats up the smaller one, and the principal calls and amend. That's not going to work. So I think for peaceful solution and a stability in the region is that to give, I'm not saying to give, but to understand that Manipur is already divided between the hills and the valley. So since the valley already had the administration, why not give those set of administration to the cookies in the form of cookie land?
Right.
Very simple.
Talking about the peace talks, the volunteers and the officials of these CSOs tell us that no such talk has happened in the last couple of months. In fact, there was no effort from either the government, state government or central government or any sort of interlocutors to come and tell them that, a talk is required. So there has been a status quo, there has been no talks that are going on. And the solution, they say, is only and only a separate administration. In fact, they have been very vocal about this demand and have put this forth several times in their memorandums that they have submitted, saying that they need separate administration. The CM Biren Singh should go, and only then peace can return in this region. This is Ananya Bharadwaj reporting with Suraj Bisht from Kangpokpi, Manipur.